Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk right here on SABC3. So in South Africa, the divorce rate is increasing yearly. Women are now initiating divorces more often than men. We want to know what is going on, why are marriages not working. Today we'll talk about the topic. First off, mediator, Chantal Kur. Mediator, you say?
Yes, that's right.
So you're not a divorce lawyer?
No, I'm a divorce and family mediator.
So, which means people come to you when they know that they want to get divorced?
Anytime throughout the process they come to me and we sit around the table and we discuss an amicable, fair solution for everybody.
So at times, people could come to you and then not get divorced?
Sometimes if I feel personally that the matter is not ripe for divorce, I'll suggest counselling for them. But most of the time it's Jerry Springer stuff. Most of the time it's people who just have had enough and it's time to move on.
When you say Jerry Springer stuff, you mean infidelity?
Infidelity and more.
Oh, okay, so they're coming to you. They don't want to go to a divorce lawyer just yet. It's pretty amicable what they're doing. Both parties are like, you know what?
They don't need a divorce lawyer at all. Most of the time they come to me and we settle it ourselves. And there's various ways and options. So a lot of the time people come to me from attorneys or from the courts or through word of mouth. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've done 643 divorces. So they come to me because they've realized that mediation is a better alternative. It saves them time, it saves them money, it saves trauma.
And it keeps them out of the courts?
Keeps them completely out the courts. It's better for the children as well.
So that the children also come into play and they sit around the table and...
Oh, no. I definitely don't want the children there. They don't need to get involved.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have child interviews where we explain to the children how the parenting plans are going to work. But what it does do is it minimizes the trauma for everybody. So the couple are able to move on post-divorce and have a co-parenting relationship, which relationship they wouldn't have had if they had entered into litigation and it became dirty.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So you're there to keep things... Usa, everyone.
Correct.
Guys,
just like that.
Just
yes.
Usa.
Yes.
This is not the first divorce. It won't be the last.
Yes.
Okay? Basically saying you're not special, but let's treat this in a special manner.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. What made you want to become a mediator?
I was exposed to the litigious way of divorces for many years. I saw people spend their life savings on getting divorced, on proving a point. Fighting principles cost money. By the time they got divorced, there was nothing left to split anyway. And I realized that there had to be a better way to do things. And quite interestingly enough, the new Children's Act that has come out makes provision for mediation. And it's actually law that when there are children concerned, a mediator needs to come on board to do the parenting plan. So we've really evolved in that way in South Africa.
So when you're a mediator, they're saying, you keep the house at the beach, I'll take the one in the cabin.
We
in
negotiate.
The woods, all of that stuff.
Yes.
And then people, so how many sessions would it happen over?
It really depends on the couple. It depends on how amicable they are. Honestly, some people I've settled in one session and then we do their agreement, and some people we've had 3 sessions, and some people we've needed a few months, the ones that are really complicated. So it really depends on the couple.
And you're not allowed to give legal advice?
I don't. I give legal information, but they always have the right to advice.
Okay. And then have you ever had to then, testify, I don't know if that's what it's called in South Africa, in court if the divorce then goes to the litigation side of things?
Mediation takes place on a without prejudice and off the record basis. So they cannot subpoena me to give evidence in court. Luckily, in my practice, we've got a 99% success rate. So it's never happened. But what I do is, because I'm an accredited mediator, I sign off the parenting plans with my affidavit, which goes on oath before the court, that it's in the best interests of the children. And then it goes to the Family Advocate's Office to be approved.
Earlier, you said that you were involved in the litigation side of things. What did you do on that side?
I had exposure. I was involved in a law firm, and I was exposed to the summonses, the particulars of claims, and
the clients that come
the clients that come in and out,
screaming, shouting,
the absolute dirty washing that gets aired, and I realized
the private investigators,
absolutely everything.
Oh my word!
Absolutely everything, and the hundreds and thousands of rands, trauma, time, paperwork that it got.
So then what does one study to become a mediator? You know, what makes you a mediator? Like, what must you do?
Well, you get various mediators with different backgrounds. I studied alternative dispute resolution in an advanced way through the Arbitration Foundation of South Africa combined with the University of Pretoria. So I did the very intense training, followed on to become accredited with the South African Association of Mediators. So I did law for mediators as a subject, and I did psychology for mediators, and it's ongoing education and ongoing training. I sat on the executive committee of the South African Association of Mediators for 2 years as well.
So now, do your friends, now this is just quickly off topic, I'm just silly.
Sure.
Do your friends call you when they're having conflict with, like, you know, like two of your besties are having something, and then Chantal comes in and says, ladies, ladies, ladies?
Yes.
Are you that person?
Yes, people phone me for everything. I mean, they think that I'm a relationship expert, and some people think I'm a sex expert too.
Hey.
Honestly, I get all these
You've
questions.
heard it all.
I've heard it all.
Speaking of divorces, what's the one thing which you say is like the common denominator in marriages failing? Because obviously you get it all, you see it all, and everyone's saying, he did this, no, she did that, we did that. You know, when you sit back and you're looking at all these 693 divorces that you've mediated, what's like the common thread?
Okay, there's three.
Oh, yes, I like three.
The first one is infidelity.
Okay, I need a pen for this. Give me a moment. Okay.
Every single day, infidelity is a reason.
Okay.
Then the second reason is money.
Okay.
When there's money issues, the love seems to just disappear. And then, of course, there's always a breakdown in communication. So if you cannot communicate, you cannot resolve your disputes. And I feel the communication can be worked on, but sometimes it reaches a point where it's just irreparable. They've swept it under the carpet, they've stuck their head in the sand.
You just stop speaking.
It's just impossible. But infidelity and money issues, bordering domestic violence as well. It's
power.
It's hectic.
Like
power
an
struggles.
imbalance in power.
Completely.
I always find that with, like, you know, friends that, or like couples that I'm privy to, their divorces, it's always like an imbalance in power.
Yes.
And which then falls under money, I would say.
Money, status, roles. I mean, you get a lot of people that were high school sweethearts and got married, and they've literally 20 years later, they've outgrown each other, and they've gone in different directions, and it's sad.
But it's also okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Do you think we've gotten to a place in society as South Africans where we know that, guys, divorce is okay?
I think it depends on a person's religious upbringing. I have a lot of very heavy religious people that have a lot of guilt attached to it, a lot of status still attached to it. They need to go for therapy to deal with that. But
because their self-worth was found in the fact that they are somebody's husband or somebody's wife.
And they feel that they're not going in accordance with their spiritual beliefs.
And quickly, before I say goodbye to you, social media, Facebook.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Plenty cyber affairs and relationships get started through that.
Okay.
Definitely.
Because I was thinking, over like the past 12 years, you know, which is how long we've had Facebook, I would say, things must have gone pear-shaped
completely.
Because it's options. That's all social media is.
Well,
it's options.
People reconnect with lost loves. They find new loves. They have these cyber affairs, and sometimes they turn into reality.
And then divorce. That's when you come in.
That's when I come in. So people really need to examine themselves, what they want, and just to do things the right way, pretty much. Set a code.
I like you. I like your spirit. You're very trustworthy.
Thank you.
I would
like
come
you
to
too.
you if I was going to take a man for everything he has. Thank you so much for joining us. After the break, we chat to divorcee Chantal Miller to get her perspective on this. I'll definitely come to you.
Thank you.